So you guys know that at the beginning of the year, it's really hard to kind of get back into that routine and figuring out like what is it that I'm going to do as soon as I get into school, you know, in order to make myself feel prepared. And it took me a little bit because I felt like in the beginning I would always forget stuff. It's kind of like learning a new schedule. Now though, I think I got it down. I think I got it down, guys. So I'm gonna share with you guys some of the things that I do in the mornings and in the afternoons to be prepared, because there's some changes that I have had to do in order to fit all of the new procedures, routines, all of the health and safety pieces. I'm gonna share that piece with you. So I'm gonna give you a quick look around because I feel like I haven't done a vlog since I had pretty much gotten my room ready. So I'm gonna give you guys a quick look around of what my room looks like right now. So I am at the back of my classroom and here's what it looks like. I've got my 20 desks in rows and there's really not much else happening in my room. I had to take that chalkboard that's right there because I used it for Michelle's bridal shower and I keep forgetting to bring it back. But this is what it looks like, and I pretty much stick to the front of the room, which I'm gonna show you in just a minute. So one of the first things that I do every morning is, of course, unpack my backpack. I get my projector going, I get my music going, which I'm not gonna put my music on because you guys don't need to sit there and listen to my music. I just like to play what I call strings music, and Echo will basically play that for me. The kids like it. It's very, very, very relaxing. And it gets me into like a very chill mode. That is often a compliment that I get every single day when people walk next to my classroom. They're like, it's so calm and peaceful in here. I like the peaceful vibes, guys. So I'm gonna get my things unpacked. I'm gonna get my projector started and I'm gonna show you guys my morning message. One of the things that I do right when I get up in the mornings is I will typically get up at about 5:40. I, go brush my teeth, put my contacts in, I get dressed. By 6 o'clock, guys, I feel like I am like right on it. 6 o'clock, I have my coffee, my first cup of coffee, and I'm going up into my office where I basically start my morning message. I will write in my morning message first thing in the morning at home. And it's just nice because I feel like it's a little bit more of a relaxing thing. I don't have to worry about it once I get into the classroom because I feel like that's always one of the things that I would forget my previous years. And I don't want to forget my morning message. I like having it up. I like having it ready. And it's good for the kids to know exactly what they're supposed to be doing today and what we're going to be talking about. So I do that. Then I put my makeup on. Then I get dressed, make my lunch, and I leave. I feel like altogether, it probably takes me about 40 to 45 minutes to get out the door in the mornings, which I've pretty much just not washed my hair in the mornings anymore. I do all of that at night, and then I don't have to stress about it. So it works out. All right, let's get the good vibes going and get the morning message up. So here's how my little setup looks right now. So my husband had the idea of putting the projector onto a tripod because this little shelf here, it's a little bit too short. And so my projector wouldn't reach the very top of the screen, and the kids in the very back were struggling a little bit. And then I still have my little IKEA shelf, and this has actually been working out really, really well for me. So I keep my laptop there, and then I have my Hue document camera, so if I want to use that, and then I have my laptop. So that's my little setup. I'm gonna get my morning message up now. So there are always 3 things that I end up putting onto my computer before the start of the day. The first thing that I put on, of course, is my morning message that I just typed at home. So I have my morning message here. The other thing that I end up putting up is actually something that is incredibly soothing. So I don't use my all day. I have really been enjoying this. Now on YouTube, I think I was just typing soothing fall with, you know, like relaxing music or something like that. Fall with relaxing music. And this is what came up. This is just images of fall weather. Look at that. And then there's the sound, the music that goes along with it. So I end up projecting this when we're not doing a specific lesson. So when kids are doing any independent work, this is what they will see. So I really, really like this site on YouTube. This one's called 3 Hours of Beautiful Autumn Colors, Amazing Nature Scenery, and the Best Relaxed Music. And it is 3 hours, and so I'll just play it randomly throughout the day, and I'll kind of pause it in between. It works out great. It doesn't have any ads except for the very beginning, so I always wait to put it up onto my screen so that the kids don't see the ads. And I have it muted at the very beginning. So I have this ready. And then the other thing that I have is we have a YouTube channel for my school. And so every morning my principal will actually get on and he will do the morning announcements. So it's not on the TV. We have it projecting on the projector because it's on YouTube. And he will do the announcements. We'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. He'll give us any new information, he'll give the kids a message, and that's really about it. And this really allows for not only what we call brick and mortar kids, which are the kids that are in person, but the kids who are also virtual to be able to watch the morning messages at home. So everybody kind of receives the same message, which is really cool and really nice. So I get those three things ready, and I actually use my Apple TV, which is connected to my projector with an HDMI cord. So I have my Apple TV, and then you can kind of see back there, but it's kind of bright. How I will have my morning message, and then I will just go into present mode. So it's not very good. You're not going to be able to see it. Now, we're obviously in a time where kids cannot share supplies. They can't really move around. They're in their desks pretty much all day. I have stand-up breaks. We have like yoga breaks where they're in their spots behind their tables where they can do things like that. But there's not like collaborative groups or moving your desk together or walking around the room. There is none of that. So I have to be a little bit creative when it comes to what types of activities am I going to do? What types of breaks am I going to give my kids? And one of the things that I saw on Instagram was actually for my cousin. Thanks, Juan. Junior is what I actually call him. And he had Play-Doh at the kids' desks in the morning. I said, oh my gosh, that is the coolest thing. And so I went to Target and I bought Play-Doh for their morning meeting. It'll be creating different shapes and creating different images using Play-Doh. And the kids really enjoy that piece. They like kind of being hands-on. They like kind of being creative and sharing. And so what I'm going to do is, as they're doing this, in order for other kids to kind of see what they're doing, I'm going to have my iPad and I'm just going to use the camera. And so as I'm walking around, I can hold my iPad over their work and show the kids what everybody else is doing. One of the final things that I end up having to do before school is also ensuring that I have any graphic organizers on my iPad. And so basically what I do, what I end up doing is I will go to my Schoology just by using the app, and then I will go to any of the assignments that I have today. So I know for like ELA, for example, with that personal narrative today, we're going to be using a graphic organizer to help us brainstorm. So I'm going to go to that assignment, I'm going to view my attachments, and I'm going to go ahead and take it to Notability. This is where this is the app that I use while I'm here in school. I know that you guys often will hear me talk about, oh, but you like to use GoodNotes, and I do. I love GoodNotes for my planner. I love GoodNotes for anything that's personal, for my business, all of that. I love GoodNotes. However, because my students use Notability on their iPads, I want to be able to model that. So I'll create a new note and I'm going to import that into Notability. So then that way I have that one ready to go. For the math today, we're going to just be doing a little bit of whiteboard practice. It's fairly simple. It's just comparing and ordering. We did number lines and the kids had a blast with that. I want to really quickly show you, like, it was like a huge mess on my Explain Everything, which is a digital whiteboard that I will use. And so we were talking about number lines, and with the number lines, oh, is this one it? Where did they put my number line? Oh, here it is. It's like a number line within a number line within a number line. So here we were talking about number lines. We had like an idea of what it was, and I made the kids like forced to tell me. First I had like a vertical line, then I did a horizontal line, and then I started doing numbers all in different orders. But then once I did that, I started to show them what it was like if I was to zoom in. So if I had 1 and 2, here's what's in between that. But then I can go even further and I can have 1 and 1/10 and 1 and 2/10, and here's what's in between that. And then I could keep going and going. And so as I did that, the kids would end up practicing on their whiteboards. They were pretty much blown away by that activity. So today we're going to be doing something similar-ish, but they're going to just do some whiteboard practice, and we end up making it into a huge game. I have candy, some nice little lifesavers here that I will end up giving out as we're doing this activity, but it makes it fun. We really only have an hour for math, and we have an hour for ELA, and we have about 30 to 40-ish minutes for content. So we don't have a ton of time in our day because we're so chopped up between our recess and bathroom breaks that we have to take, like mandatory, everybody as a class has to take the bathroom breaks, and we have 2 of those in the day. So with all of those different pieces, we're really, really choppy. So we only have a little bit of time for each of our lessons. So we make do with what we got. And yeah, it ends up working out. The kids really like whiteboard stuff. They like to have that competitive nature in them. And this group is just a great group to be around. So I have my graphic organizers ready to go, so that way I'm not fumbling through them when I'm ready to do my lesson and do my example for them. And I feel like I'm pretty much done. I do get here really early in the mornings. But yeah, I'm feeling good, guys. Somehow I got really big hair by the time that I'm getting ready to start class. So one of the last things that I end up doing is breakfast is served in my classroom at this time, like in the mornings. So they bring the breakfast in little bags and I end up placing it on the desks. So every morning I log it using Google Sheets. I have just a template for me to be able to log which kids are gonna get breakfast and which ones are gonna get lunch. And then I place their names back there on the board. So that way in the mornings, I know exactly who is supposed to get breakfast. So I'm just gonna walk around and place out their breakfast before I open up my door. All right, the bell has rung, so I'm going to try to do this really quick. So every morning I have my iPad ready to go. I open up a Google Sheets, and this is what it looks like. And it just allows me to be able to use the check boxes so that I can click it and say that this kid wants to have lunch today and then breakfast for tomorrow. We also use a hand sanitizer, so I will spray the kids' hands as they come into the door, greet them outside in the hallway, and then they will just come right in. Waterfall. Confirming for lunch today. So this morning for our greeting, we're gonna do a card greet. So I want you to stand just so that we can get our bodies moving just a little bit. Stand up, push your chairs in, back behind your space. Okay, so with this, I am gonna start, and then I'll tell you who I'm greeting. I have cards here with no extra breakfast. I have cards here with names on them, and the first person on here I am gonna greet, and then that person will greet the person with the next one. Does that make sense? Yeah. And it'll just keep going around until the last person finally greets who? You. Me, all over again, okay? All right, so here we go. All right. I'm actually going to record my lesson if you guys don't mind. You mind? You're like, we don't care. We're not going to be in it. Okay. It was really nice outside, wasn't it? Yeah. I'm not going to lie. You know what's actually going to be nice about masks? Wearing them in the winter. Oh, yeah. Imagine when it's like brutally cold outside. You get, yeah. Right? Like, yeah, exactly. So really one of the benefits when we think about the positive sides, guys, there's a positive piece to it. Okay, so last week when I was out, one of the things that I had you guys do was you read the story Gleam and Glow, right? And in that story Gleam and Glow, the girl and the boy, like the little family, they end up experiencing different things. So they experience the fact that they got a pet. What was the pet? Goldfish. Thank you. So here's what I want. Now, during this lesson, because I know yesterday I did have to call out on a few of you. So I want you to sit up. I want you to be focused. Okay? We're not playing with our iPads. We're not looking down. You're looking at me. I'm giving you a lesson, right? And when you look at me and you engage and listen, and you ask questions, you're going to understand what to do a little bit easier, right? So my story ideas, because these are the things that happened in Gleam and Glow, I can come up with my own. So the day I picked up Walter, so every time I model something with us doing our writing, you're going to see me model it with this story. Capiche? Okay. Now, going back to our graphic organizer. So yesterday, we talked about, what is it called? Ooh, let's try this again. Ready? Yesterday, we talked about citing evidence. Okay, we talked about citing evidence. And we used the asking and answering questions. Awesome, guys, you're doing it. I'm loving it. 3 events. With 3 events, you can think of this as the beginning, the middle, and then the end. You have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And with the beginning, middle, and end of your story, you have to come up with different details. So here's my story. I don't know if you guys, were you here when I got Walter? I've only had him. No, it was right before you guys. Okay, so it was in May. It was towards the end of the school year, and it was already like typically a crazy year. This was the year before you guys came, all right, to the MAC team. I know, I had already gotten Walter when you guys showed up to the MAC team. So I was already looking for a pup. I really wanted a puppy, and I had been looking on site. And I remember every time I would call, every time I would put in an application, I had no luck. Well, I remember specifically, I was coming home from school and I had seen a puppy because I had been looking for a puppy during special, which our special was still at the end of the day during that time. So I was looking at puppies with Fox. And then my next one, my events here, is that I got my phone call, right? So I told my husband, they called, and they said, first come, first what? Serve. You know what that means, first come, first serve? So I'm gonna give you, we're gonna do this in maybe like 4 pods, except, is it 4 pods? No, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that. So what I think I'll try to do is maybe we can do like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It is the afternoon, and taking my mask off after a really long day of teaching feels oh so very good. Is it just me, or whenever you take your mask off at the end of the day, like I feel like I'm huffing and puffing a little bit more than normal? It's like I'm going up a flight of stairs, but I'm not. It's very, very odd. It will go away eventually at some point. Okay, so I need to pull up my Google Sheet. So here's my Google Sheets that I'm pulling up, and I'm looking at the breakfast names for tomorrow. So I'm gonna go ahead and start erasing things, changing them over, and making it for the same one. We're on our last cycle day with PE. And guys, it's been a little bit nice, I'm not gonna lie. So PE will take the kids outside. So I've had my room to myself. Normally, specials come into my classroom. So I don't necessarily get to stay in my room. I have to go find somewhere else to go. And I didn't have to do that for PE. Tomorrow's gonna be the last day though. And then my kids have a new special, which I think is art. I'm pretty sure it's art. So my kids are gonna have art, and that means that she's gonna be in the classroom, so I will have to find a new place to go starting tomorrow. What's tomorrow, Thursday? Starting Friday. So I wanted to show you guys that I keep these 2 buckets right here in the back of my little work area. And in these 2 buckets, this is my reading material. So these are anything that I have with reading. I always have my Bridging Literacy binder. And then I actually have a couple of other things, but these are actually gonna go home. So I'm gonna leave that there. And then I normally will have my books. So whatever book that I'm gonna be reading next, I would place here. Only thing is I gotta go and get that. I was looking at that today. And that book is at home, so I need to make sure I pack that. And then in this bucket, I keep my math materials and my science materials. I know it's weird. I just didn't want 3 buckets. Is that odd? I don't know. So I have my math materials and my science materials. I have our gizmo information here. And then I also have my answer key for the place value unit, which is what we're in right now. And it just makes it easy for me to grab my materials and teach and put them away. So for the most part, I have to be honest, I don't make a huge mess when I teach this way. Teaching whole group has taught me to be a little bit more neater. So I don't really have a ton of things that I have out. I have still a few things that I need to take care of here in my inbox, and that's mainly just laminating, which I'm gonna do at some point this week. I just didn't wanna do it today. So I keep everything fairly neat. And so by the end of the day, I don't have a ton of things that I'm trying to like look for and sort through and clean up, because I'm keeping everything digital still. I try to keep everything digital so that students know how to use the technology. So in case we were to ever go virtual, they are already very familiar with how to utilize all of that, the technology piece. Plus, I don't want to touch paper, have them touch paper and then touch paper back, and it's just too messy. So the thing that I needed to do is, last week I mentioned to you guys that I was sick, and so I was out for about 7 days, and I wasn't able to do lesson 1 with Bridging Literacy with my students. So I feel like every single day this week I've been doing a little bit of catch up, like remember when the sub did this, or remember with this book you did this. So tomorrow is going to be our first grammar lesson with me. They had a mentor sentence grammar piece with a sub, but I want to go back over it together with them. So they did not have an anchor chart because I wasn't here. I wasn't coming in to like turn in my sub plans. I was just sending them to my teaching partner. But in the Bridging Literacy unit, I have these little pieces here. Okay, so my anchor chart is ready to go. It's 2 pages long. So I have this page, which has the title, and then it has nouns, verbs, adjective, proper, and common. And then we're going to go through subject, predicate, and compound sentence. Now, I didn't put the other one in there yet, which is prepositional phrase, which is what we're going to go over this tomorrow. I just have it here. I'll glue these on after we've already gone over the other items. So that's it. At this point, I literally just walk around my classroom, turning off all of the lights. Everything is pretty much cleaned up because the kids are not making a mess throughout the day. I did have them clean up inside of their desks because I felt like the inside of their desks were looking like they were gonna explode. But most of the time, guys, I'm able to leave pretty much at 3:45. Like, I'm out the door because I typically will do the calendar and other things like that while the kids are still here because they're making free choices. So there's those lights. That's it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was like a nice little insight into what it's like to teach in person with a typical-ish size class. I mean, I'm probably missing about 6 of my kiddos, but it's pretty normal. Like, it's not a bad class size. We have 20 kiddos. We wear masks all day long, even when we're outside. But it's going well for the most part. It really, really is going well. I'm starting to find different ways to engage them and to make it a little bit more exciting so that it's not just I'm sitting in my desk all day long. So, yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I do want to mention really fast because I feel like somebody's going to say something. I wear these when I am up on my stage teaching. I do not wear it when I am helping students, like I'm walking around them. I will wear my mask once I'm starting to walk around them. But if I'm teaching, you guys can already hear how much I'm huffing and puffing as it is, just from wearing it all day. It gets really, really bad when I'm up there and I'm trying to teach and wear this at the same time. And I know I have my microphone, which is this little thing that I wear around my neck in order to project my voice. But at the same time, I feel like I'm constantly breathing in the mask itself. So I do wear that when I am giving the instruction and I know I'm not gonna walk around, but as soon as I start walking around students and I'm getting closer than, I would say I have about 8 feet between me and my kids, I will put my mask on. So I know somebody's gonna tell me something. I am following the guidelines of my school. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please make sure to give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you are not already subscribed. My name is Bridget Spackman. I'm typically a multi-age teacher, but this year I'm only teaching 5th grade. Normally I teach 4th, 5th, and 6th grade all in one, which is always really, really exciting and fun. This year I'm not. That's gonna be okay. And I have a huge passion for literacy instruction, productivity, and just getting things done. So if you want to see more videos on that, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so that you can be notified every time I upload a new video or I go live, which I will be doing very soon. But guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you all next time. Bye.